Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Intentional Favor, and on this channel I share my life experiences on issues pertaining to faith, lifestyle, social work, studying abroad. I also do a little bit of vlogging, so please, if you'd like to join this family here, you are more than welcome to do so. Just hit the red subscribe button below and also hit the notification bell so that you get notified each time I upload a new video. Today guys, we'll continue on our new arrival series we started a couple of weeks ago, and today, as you've seen the title already, I'll be talking about how to open a bank account in the UK as an international student. Yes, like I said in a previous video, one of the important things that you need to do upon arrival in the UK after your quarantine, if you came into the UK during the period of isolation and all of that, is to open a bank account. Before I forget, I also want to highlight that one other important thing that you also need to do is to go and register with a GP, general practice. That is like registering with a doctor. It's very important. In a subsequent video, I will address that separately. But in today's video, we are basically talking about opening a bank account. Now, so many people have asked me this question: do you advise I open a domiciliary account from my country before coming into UK? Well, I will just advise, just come with enough cash that will suffice for the meantime when you are here in the UK. Then when you arrive here, you can easily open a bank account. It doesn't really take so much to do that. The major challenge that many people find when it comes to opening a bank account in the UK, especially as international students, is documentation. Of course, you'll be required to provide some documentation, and one of the hardest one is proof of address, because other documents, I believe you will have them. You have your proof of identity, which in this case is your international passport. Of course, you can use a driver's license or something, but basically as an international student with your international passport, that serves as a proof of identity. Then your BRP, which you must have collected for you to even remain in the UK. You are expected to collect that few days after arrival in the UK. So you already have that. But one challenge that people usually have is the proof of address. But I'm going to share my story on how I open my bank account easily without any of much stress. I'm also going to give you tips on how to go around the proof of address. First thing I would like to say, guys, is that before opening an account, try and do your research. Your research can involve so many things. Number one, you have to know the bank you want to bank with. I'm not sure, but there are so many banks in the UK. The popular ones, we have Barclays, we have Lloyds, we have HCSB. We have so many of them. We have Halifax, so many banks, Santander, and all of that. So just make sure that you know the one that you want to open with, okay? Just make your research. Your research can also involve things like overdraft charges. Yeah, make sure you find out about that. Also, some ATM charge. I think I'm not sure, but I learned that some banks, they charge so high when you withdraw from a different ATM machine that is not theirs or something like that. I'm not sure, but the good thing about UK is that when you go to any ATM to withdraw, you will always see free cash withdrawal, even if it's not from your bank, even if it's an ATM from a supermarket or something, you will see free cash withdrawal. I will advise always withdraw from those ones. So before going to withdraw from an ATM, make sure you check out, is it free cash withdrawal? If it's not, just look for another one, because you might be charged for doing that. Your bank definitely, I think maybe it depends on your bank on how much you'll be charged, but there are so many free withdrawal cash machines here in the UK, so make sure you look out for those ones and withdraw with them. Another thing to consider is the fees when sending money abroad. Now you're an international student, you might want to be sending money from your bank to your home country. There are several fees. Different banks, they have different fees. So if you think that you will more likely be sending money back home through your bank in this case, just make sure you read about that, research and know the charges of the bank before opening that. So basically, make sure that you do your research about the bank you want to open an account with before making that step. When you must have decided the bank you will open an account with, definitely the next thing to do is to gather your documents. Like I already said, the major documents you need are proof of identity, which in this case should be your international passport. You need your BRP, and you will need a proof of fund. Most times, I'm not sure, but I think many banks, especially when it comes to the basic account, you don't need any money. You can open it with no money. You can open it with £0, yes, and just go to the bank and say you want to, or you can make deposit to open it with a certain amount of money. But basic accounts of several banks, you don't need any certain amount of money to open it with it. So when you are gathering your documents, like I said previously, one of the documents that people find quite challenging, especially as international students, is the proof of funds. Now, I said in my previous video that there is a letter you can get from your university, and that letter can be addressed to the manager or to the bank that you are opening the account with. And with that letter, sometimes your address will definitely be written on it, and some banks can accept that as a proof of address. So before I started filming this video, I had to go and dig out my own document, because someone asked me, what is this document called? I don't think it's called a particular name, like I answered already, but it's just going to I got it from my university's international center. I just asked them I want to open an account, and they wrote the letter. So the letter is titled Letter of Introduction for UK Banking Facilities, and this is addressed to the bank. So I told them the bank I wanted to open an account with, and they addressed it to the bank manager. Yeah, I've got the documents here. So they just addressed it, and they asked me the branch I'll be going to. So they addressed it to that particular branch, and then they wrote this. So they said that this letter certifies that myself, I'm currently enrolled on the following course at the University of Chester. So they outlined my program: full-time social work, Master of Arts, start date, finish date, my date of birth, my forename, and then my surname, and also my nationality. Now, going further, they talked about confirmation of address details. Yeah, that's what they wrote here. Confirmation of address details. So they say permanent home address overseas. So the address I've been using while I was in Nigeria, they wrote it here as my permanent home address back in my country. Then they say we confirm that we have corresponded with the student at their above overseas address. Now the next thing is time address UK. Then they now wrote the address that I provided them, that I'll be staying here, which was an uncle's place I was staying there. So they wrote that address there. So they say time accommodation. We are not providing accommodation for the student. So if they were providing accommodation, they will write the address, and of course the bank will already know that you are staying in university accommodation, and that settles it. But even here, they still wrote the address that I'm staying in the UK. Now, some banks will accept this as a proof of address, and if your bank does that, congratulations, then you are good to go. However, if your bank doesn't accept that, that is not to say that all hope is lost. Now, the question is, where do you stay? Where are you currently staying? Now, when I opened my GP, like when I went and registered rather with a GP, like registering with a doctor, one thing that I used, because then I've not gotten, because so many things can be used as your proof of address. It can be a tenancy agreement. It can be letter from HRMC confirming your national insurance number. But I want to believe you would have opened a bank account before your national insurance comes in. So there are so many official documents. Of course, those documents will bear your address, addressing it to you. Okay, so those are the documents you can use: tenancy agreement, and maybe of course a bank statement for other proof of address. This time around, you are opening a bank account, you've not gotten that. Now, when I opened my when I registered with my GP, there was something I did, which is like a clue I want to give you, depending on where you are staying currently, before maybe moving out or getting your own accommodation. So remember, I said I was staying in an uncle's place, and what I did then was that, because you can use another proof of address is utility bills and council tax bills and all of that, but they will not bear your name. Remember, you just came into the UK, right? Now, my uncle that I was staying in the house, I used his utility bill. Of course, his utility bill bears his name. Okay, now he wrote a letter to augment that. So he wrote a letter just saying that he is confirming that I am his that he's my guardian. Yeah, he's my guardian in the UK. So he confirms that he's my guardian and I'm currently staying with him. He wrote his address, and that was it. Pretty much what it was. And I think I still use this in the bank. I think I still presented this to the bank, and it's acceptable. So his name is there, his full name, of course, as written on the utility bill, his signature and everything. He talked about what he does, his profession and all of that. That might not be necessary, but the aim of the letter is just to say that I know this person, I know this student, and she is staying in my place, she is staying at my address, and this is my address, and attached is my utility bill. Yes, if you do that, so many banks will also also accept that. So guys, that's one easy way you can get your proof of address. So if you are staying with a friend, for instance, and your friend maybe or a family member, like the utility bill, council tax bill and all of that is addressed to them, and you are staying with them, okay, all you need to do is to get a letter from them. Just write it. It's not, it shouldn't be on a letterhead, just a plain letter, a plain letter, but the person should just say, yes, I know this person, she's staying with me in this address and all of that. Just introduce himself or herself, then write the full name and the full address, then sign it. Then you always go with it, okay? You go with it, not just that letter, but alongside a utility bill or a council tax bill, and present it as your proof of address. That was how I opened I registered with my GP, and I also use that for my bank, okay, and that sorts it out. But remember, all of these documents that we're talking about has to be dated the last 3 months. It shouldn't be more than 3 months. So make sure that if this is September, for instance, so you shouldn't use one that dates as far back as June, July, August, maybe June, July, August, September, probably, or maybe June latest, okay, but it should be dated at most 3 months ago. That is the ones accepted. Anyone further to that will not be accepted. So guys, that's pretty much what it takes to open a bank account in the UK. Simple, innit? Very simple. So it's not something to worry about. Just come over, go and open a bank account and start banking with a UK account. Yeah. So guys, with that, I've come to the end of this video. Please don't forget to like this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Go ahead, subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed to my channel, and also leave comments to ask your questions, okay? So guys, next week I'm planning, this is just a special announcement. I'm not sure why I didn't mention it earlier, but if you watch this video to this point, go ahead, follow me on Instagram. Next week I'm planning to film a video on maybe a Q&A video. I've gotten so many questions. Oh my god, my Instagram has been buzzing repeatedly for the past couple of weeks, questions and all of that. So I want to say, next video I just want to address some of those questions officially. Of course, I've been answering people, but I just want, if you have any questions that you want to ask me pertaining to anything, maybe I'll now have to class them into groups and film those videos. But go ahead, follow me on Instagram, send me a DM, send me a message. If you're not on Instagram, you can also send me an email. Yes, email. My email address is intentionalfavor@gmail.com. My Instagram handle is intentional favor. So go ahead, send me DM. What are your questions? What are your doubts? Go ahead and ask me, and I'll be addressing those questions in a Q&A video. Yes, and I hope that you will find it helpful. So guys, till I see you in my next video, stay blessed, remain intentional, and take care of yourself. Bye.